Good morning, everyone. Thank you on this beautiful Saturday morning to come to listen to the Moore Belgium growth story. So I would like to inspire you in the next 20 minutes with an authentic story of our company and our growth path. So most important thing, every SME is wanting to grow. Every company wants to grow. Growth is something that is an enabler to give chances to not only financial success, but to do more opportunities and to have a better service offering or product offering towards your customers. And the third very important point is that also it's an enabler for a lot of opportunities for your employees. So for us also in Moore Belgium, we are an accounting and consulting firm. The three elements are very crucial: financial success, people, and customer. So growth is for every company very important. So 10 years ago, we were more or less with 80 people. Today in Belgium, we're with 2,000 people. So it's quite a quite steep growth, and I try to inspire you a little bit with the do's and don'ts that we had conquered. The Q&A code for those who have questions afterwards. Feel free to use this. We'd be glad to give you an answer on it. To introduce myself, I'm Luc de Munk. I'm the managing partner within Moore Belgium. So I'm leading the advisory pillar and the link with Odoo. And this beautiful seminar here will be explained later on. It started more than 50 years ago. Our journey with more or less a family office, a family company, purely doing accounting. Familie Verschelden. And in 2008 there was a first milestone. There were two brothers merging their companies, 2 times 40 people. Having 80 people, 80 skilled people purely in accountancy. 2 days ago there was a lot of accountancy input here on the Odoo experience days. The reason in 2008 to consolidate a little bit in accountancy was increasing compliancy rules. Was at that moment also the strategic conscience that it will become more digitalized and that the whole sector will be changed over the years. And there was at that moment also an enormous war for talent to attract good people and to give them learning and development so that they can at some point that they understand the difficulties and of the new compliances. So this was more or less the milestone 2008 to merge the two family offices. In 2013, it's the beginning of my story. I joined the family with 20 business consultants, and the rationale or the reason why we did that move was at that moment triggered by our customers. The customer wants an accountant to be a trusted advisor, but it is also an advisor. So telling people 6 months after the year has passed that the figures were good or bad is not adding value. So the whole search of how can we add value to our customers, and the sweet spot of Moore Belgium is SMEs, mid-market type of customers. So how can we add value? And the broad service offering was one crucial start. So from 2013 we built several additional expertise, going from tax and legal advice, going to business consulting, management consulting, to corporate finance, to guide our clients in the buy and build, and also we invested in a company that was mainly busy with data analytics at that moment, because we have a lot of customers, we have a lot of data, and having the key insights transformed into managerial insights is a crucial added value. So the journey kicked off in 2013 with, at that moment then, 80 plus 20, 100 persons, with the main driving forces like I just said. Very, very crucial in that transition towards 2018. We shifted the model from a family-owned company to a company with familial values. So it was also a very important step that the initial family at that moment decided to say, okay, we want to become a partnership, because at that moment we can attract other people that participate in the capital, that have at some point the entrepreneurial spirit. It's also our company at some point in time, and we shifted, and that's a brave decision, because when you're at some point in time 100% owner of a company, letting others participate is a crucial one. What was a crucial success factor for the growth path that we have taken over those years. So the shift towards the partnership was a very crucial one in 2018. In our evolution, we always worked on organic growth. That was for us key, but we looked at smart M&A transactions of additional services that were already a little bit matured. If you have to build everything from scratch, this takes time, and sometimes you have nice companies with 10, 20, 30 people with a specific expertise that you can use, and we try to persuade them in the global story of saying, we have a fleet of different boats, let's go and work around our type of customers. A very crucial one is the financial restrictions. We are a partnership. At some point in time in 2020, we did 50 million euros of turnover, and 5 million euros was our more or less our budget to look at inorganic growth. Right? So if one or two companies entered at that year, it was at that moment the end, because we strictly limited our budget to take over companies. So we were already in a buy and build modus, but our buying was limited to our financial constraints. So this is very good, because at that moment you have time to build a little bit the organization structure and move up in the maturity of your organization. In 2020, we fueled that buy and build strategy by letting Waterland, as a private equity player, invest in our company. That means for us that on a strategic level we have the same. We kept the same strategy, but the financial resources or the constraints in our financial resources were a little bit limited. So that means that we could go full force in different acquisition targets. So from 2020, we had an investment partner. So this is also new for a family office going to a company with family values, how you manage a little bit the stakeholder, additional stakeholder, your investment partner. So this was quite a challenge, but the steep growth was certainly something that helps us to go in a win-win. Where are we now? 2024, 2025. The story that we did in Belgium, trying to have a footprint of accounting and consulting firms, is quite successful, or very successful, let's say. And we see now the need for our customers at some point that they say, can you follow us across borders in that type of advice, in that type of service offering? Moore is a network also of tax and audit. So we initiated a little bit the European growth now by letting Waterland with the other countries doing a little bit the same copy-paste story of what is done in Moore Belgium. So we fueled the other countries, and for the moment in Holland, in UK, Spain, Germany are already countries that are a little bit in the same ecosystem with the same investment partner. So that means that we are looking a little bit further now on the European scale. The whole idea there is local champion in each market. So that's a little bit our strategy. But giving a little bit the European layer above it so that we can follow our customers in all their needs cross-border also. So this is a little bit the story, and it probably will continue. If I look at where we are today, this is the employee evolution. So going from 75 to 2000, that's quite some challenges, because buy and build means integrating them, becoming one partner, one company, going a little bit for the same culture and so on. So this is the hard work. Buying a company is not that easy, not that difficult, but integrating, it's all about people, and how you make the story 1 + 1 equals 11. I'm always saying. So that's the challenge. I'm very glad at some point in time that the people recognizes also our values. We became best workplace a year ago, and this year we also introduced participation in our capital of all employees. So people that had 3 years of experience and were 3 years with us, they had the possibility to invest in our company. So now I think 400-500 people of that category are also partner without voting rights, but are part of this company. The sales, it's a people business. The more people in this case, the more turnover you do. A crucial one in my 10 years from 2012 till now is also the shift from purely shareholder value creation to stakeholder value creation. So 70% of our, let's say, our engine are people, as people business. So we put our people very central. Learning is a very crucial one. So this is very important to have engaged people. Customers, without customers we are nothing. So customer focus. What we do is not new. There are a lot of competitors in our market in accounting and consulting, but how we do it, how we get the touch points with our entrepreneurs, with the management teams where we work for, this is a very crucial one. So customers and people is for us a very important one. The stakeholders, okay, that's logic also, and we consolidated also all our efforts to put a stone in the river a little bit further for our society in a Moore Foundation, so that we have more power to do also something back for our community. A very important thing to enhance and to involve 2,000 people was what we created is a little bit our noble house. Why do we do every day what we do? And we created that with the whole bunch of people. We asked them in 2030 if you are proud of being a member of Moore Belgium. What would be the reason why you are proud? If you are a shareholder, if you are a client, if you are an employee, if you are the society. And based on that, we created our noble house, where we say, okay, let's make healthy choices in every advice that we give. Healthy choices mean sustainable choices, not only in our advice towards customer, but also 2,000 people, 2,000 families in our company. So that has a great impact to move and to bring the world to a better place, let's say. Positive mentality, that's for us our key values, and we bundled it in a noble house. The story is always interesting to tell 10 years when you look back. It's always a nice story, but it's strategy and motion. We are continuously in an agile flow. This is for the moment our main service lines. And the link also with here, the Odoo experience, is that at some point in time, our customers, they ask us, business consulting, can you go further? Can you go help us in technology and so on? And yeah, like I said, the sweet spot is SMEs, mid-market type of customers, so that at some point in time, we shifted also with SquareFlow, a company that integrated Odoo solutions in the market. So we shifted and searched for what are the right softwares that we can use and what are the right tools that we can give our customers. And okay, how do we get expertise also in that? So moving target, the strategy. Growth is a little bit the key issue. If you grow, you can give opportunities, you can give chances. Very important, 1/3, 1/4 is organic growth, 3/4 is M&A growth. Some golden rules if you want to do an acquisition. That's our lessons learned, let's say. We always call it the 3 Ps, people, plan, price, but it's in that order. If you don't have a connection with the values of the other company, it can be a nice deal on EBITDA level, it can be a nice deal strategically, but if you can't work together as one team, you will have value destruction. So for us, very key, we start to know the people. Certainly in us, we're a professional service company, so people make the difference there. So we start with people. Of course, a plan. We don't want to be a portfolio company with several service offerings. We want to bring service offerings only together if we have added value towards our clients, and clients can differ. So we want to be a powerhouse towards our customers. So the 1 + 1 = 11 is a very crucial one. And of course, at the end, if you want to do a transaction, also on the financial side, it has to be the correct price. And you have to look at what is called, in my perspective, what will be the future EBITDA, because you are in a new constellation. The past is the past. If you work together, you will have to create the future vision, more or less the plan. What will 1 + 1 bring us together tomorrow? And that's a little bit the insight for your valuation also. For us, I'm coming to an end to my presentation. For us, it's always important to integrate and to bring the people together, because so we have one voice towards our customers. You can do it in several ways. But the whole idea of bringing everyone together on one big ship is something that we didn't strategically chosen for. We consider ourselves more like a fleet with several independent boats where we do in a smart way things together. The big advantage there is that you stay agile in a fast-moving world, let's say, and from one year to another, we conquered everything from COVID to now the tensions, macroeconomic. So at some point in time, the different boats, sometimes they have the wind ahead, and sometimes everything goes good. So we are at that moment more in fleet modus than that we put everyone on the same boat. That's for us, for our company, a crucial, critical success factor also. Coming to an end to the presentation. I still have 5 minutes, I think, for answering questions. Want to thank you for your presence already.
What would you consider best practices for integrating 2 brands after an acquisition, especially when the acquired company already has a strong market recognition and brand value?
That's a good question. If you integrate, you always have to do it in a pragmatic way. you don't want to destroy the value that is already created. If the brand is known, at some point you have to keep the brand. That flexibility is also something that you need to have. One of our companies in 2016 is Element 61. It's a data analytics company, and at that moment in time they were already working with 40 people for some nice customers, have a strong brand on CIO level. So we kept that brand and we connected it to the Moore powerhouse at that moment.
You added a private excuse me. You added a private equity firm to have more financing to acquire companies and grow faster. What other options did you consider at that time? Looking back, was this a good option?
The second plan was to continue a little bit our strategy. We are a partnership, so we had at that moment 30 equity partners. So it could be that the partners invested a little bit more, and that there are more rules to say, okay, let's invest instead of the 10% of the turnover, a higher percentage. For us, lending could be a possibility, but we see Waterland as an investment partner. They don't really involve in the strategic choices, so we keep that also separated. They structure a little bit the fund flow, and of course it's a very important stakeholder that we have to keep informed. But we try to follow our route on the long term.
You've now surpassed KPMG in terms of headcount. While you stated that outpacing the Big Four isn't a primary goal, what does that milestone signify for Moore Belgium's market position and future ambitions?
For us, it's not the battle to become a Big Four or Big Five, because we have at some point a completely different client approach. We don't work mainly. We work mainly for mid-market and SME market, so we are not focusing on let's say the multinational companies. We are not able to follow them also the whole globe around. The 2000, that was let's say journalistic freedom at some point in time, but we won't compare ourselves to the Big Four. I think they also do very good things, but we are focusing on doing it in our target group.
Does the fleet modus not generate a lot of overhead and confusion with your employees and consumers?
Yes, that's a challenge. Communication is not centrally well under control when you work in a fleet modus. But the advantage to be agile is bigger than let's say having 4 weeks or 4 months of discussion to change something. If we want to launch a flexible income plan towards our employees, let's say within 2 weeks this is decided, because the link with the service line, business unit leaders and the management exco is very close, so we can go very fast if we want to go fast.
When is a number of equity partners too much to remain nimble and still keep that sense of ownership?
For the moment we have 150 partners, so that's more or less one on the 2000, it's 1 on 10, 1 on 15 employees. We strategically chosen to have a broad partnership. We have also partners that are 30 years old, if they are with new technology busy. So at that moment, we really want to fuel that feeling. So it's not a select group. So we have a broad partnership that keeps that entrepreneurial spirit, the touch points with the customers also, and together with the participation of our other employees, we want to have the feeling that everyone owns a little bit of Moore Belgium, so that improves also the retention and the proud to work for the company.
Will the future of the company include the addition of other services like M&A advisory or transaction services?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Will the future of the company include the addition of other services like M&A advisory and transaction services?
Yeah, this is something that we already have. In 2014, 15, at that moment we also installed a corporate finance boutique that helps us also because it's our own corporate finance boutique that goes through all the due diligence processes of the acquisitions that we do for ourselves. So it's always good to have that profession in our own house.
Right, I believe we've run out of time for questions, so thank you for the presentation.
Thank you very much.